Hello, luminaries. Good to see you. It is a beautiful Friday here in Southern California. And today we have a really juicy topic. Um, for those of you who don't know me, I am Debbie Lichter, and I'm the founder of Free from Food Addiction and also the Congruence Code. And we are talking about 3 things that you need in order to have more confidence. And so I'd love to hear from you if you are somebody who struggles with confidence, struggles with putting yourself out there. Please go ahead and in the comments, just put confidence in the comments. And what I'd particularly love to hear is, gosh, what is your biggest challenge when it comes to having confidence? So if you would share that, that would be amazing. And without further ado, I'd love to just dive in with this training today. So if you're catching this live, or if you are watching this as a recording, either way, it was really wonderful to be here with you. And I'd love to hear, as we go through, I'd love to hear what is particularly resonating for you so that I can give you more of what you want more of. So, when we talk about confidence, there's actually two aspects to confidence. And there's the aspect of just having that sense of appreciation of your abilities and your qualities, just feeling good about yourself, that kind of confidence. And then there's also the kind of confidence in that state or feeling of trust or reliance upon something. Like, I've got confidence in that. I've got confidence that I can trust that, or I can rely upon that. Like, for example, I have confidence that when I walk into a room and I flip the switch, that the lights are going to come on. And hi, Elise. Oh, so great to see you. Yay. Awesome. I've got confidence that the lights are going to come on. And I don't question it. And I don't need to fully understand all the inner workings of electricity to trust and rely that the lights are going to go on. And in the event that they don't, in the event that I flip the switch and for some reason the lights don't go on, I don't go into a whole tailspin about how I must have not flipped the switch right, or how I have bad luck, or how this is just how my life is, or anything like that. I say, gosh, that's interesting. Maybe the bulb is out. Maybe there's maybe there's something going on. Maybe we're having a temporary lapse in the electricity, but I trust in the principle of electricity. I trust in that. I've got confidence in that. And so I always find it funny, and that kind of speaks into a little bit of an analogy for just our reliance and trust in the universe, or in God, or in spirit, or source, or whatever that is for you. That we're talking about 2 different aspects of confidence today. We're talking about the kind of confidence that you actually have that sense of appreciation about your own abilities and qualities, and also that sense of confidence and that trust and reliance upon the universe, and how powerful both of those things are together. And so what I want to share with you today, the three things that you really need in order to have confidence out there, they bring together both of those. They bring together both the confidence in one's own abilities, appreciation of one's own abilities, and also that state of being able to trust. And so, so let's just dive right in here. And I just want to read this comment here. Oh, goodness. Yes, struggling with confidence in teaching. Right. It is so vulnerable to teach. I mean, to put yourself out there, and it's like there's these things where it's like we're putting our gifts out into the world. I'm an artist as well as a teacher. And so I know that feeling, Elise, of you have this beautiful gift that you want to share into the world, and then it's got so much of your own personal imprint on it, so much of your love, so much of your caring and your desire to really make an impact. And it's so easy to like just get really tripped up and concerned about, you know, how it's going to be perceived or received, or if it's going to be okay, or if it's going to be good enough. And I really commend you for having the confidence to put yourself out there anyway, because I'll never forget, if this can help you at all, because I know you're talking about a yoga class, but I remember when I was becoming a Pilates teacher, and I remember my master instructor, he said, you know, because we were graduating and we were all these newbie Pilates teachers, and he said, look, I'm going to level with you. You got to go out there, you got to start teaching, and guess what? You're going to be a crappy teacher. And that's what's going to happen. But guess what else? You've got to be a crappy teacher before you're a good teacher. And you've got to be a good teacher before you're a great teacher. And you've got to be a great teacher before you're a phenomenal teacher. And so he took all of that, I've got to be perfect and I've got to be perfect right out the gate stuff. And he's like, look, you're going to stumble. You're going to be crappy. It's just going to be this way. And that's fine. And like, get over it, you know. And I bet you that you're not crappy, but you know what I'm saying. It does take the pressure off a little bit. Yeah. And so if that can support you at all, and that actually stick around, because the second thing that I'm going to share with you today is going to actually link right back into that conversation. So the first thing that I want to share with you though, and this is just, oh my gosh, this is great, big, huge. Speaking of being a yoga teacher or a Pilates teacher, you know, you would have thought that as a Pilates teacher, as a Pilates expert, I was like super connected in my body. And I thought I was. I was very into mind-body fitness and mind-body control, and telling my body what to do and connecting with certain parts of my body, but I was rarely in my body. And here's what I've found is that to truly be confident, to have that appreciation of your own capacity, your own abilities, your own qualities, and to have that level of trust and reliance within the universe, that confidence in the universe, it really requires you to be in your body, in your body. We are made of 75 trillion cells that are all these individual little entities. We're like just a combination of like a bunch of entities that all thought it was a good idea to come together, to congeal together to make us, you know? And when you think about that, if you just actually like take your awareness out of your head and the thoughts and all the things that you think you need to do and you need to be and where you need to go, and because PS, by the way, you don't have anywhere to be right now. This is the most important place for you to be, right here, right now, where you can just take a deep breath and just relax into the knowing that you are getting exactly what you need right here, right now, on this call. There's nowhere else to be. With that, you can take that awareness that's so caught up with trying to track what's going to be happening in an hour from now and thinking about what was happening an hour ago into this very moment, and bring your awareness from your head down into your body and allow your awareness just to spread out. And imagine your awareness going into every single one of your little 75 trillion cells. Just imagine all those little cells, and actually take a breath right here and imagine that breath is actually breathing some fresh air, some fresh light, some fresh energy into all of those 75 million cells. Right? It's kind of cool. So here we are, we're connected in our bodies. Welcome. And one of the things that I will share with you is that if you want to instantly calm down, if you want to get out of anxiety, if you want to get out of obsession, if you want to get out of overwhelm, it is so valuable to just come into your body, get connected in your body. And here's what is so cool, is that you will come across to others as being confident when you are present and connected in your body. And so I get this from people all the time. They're like, you just have this confidence about you or whatever. And it's not that I'm confident, it's that I'm connected and present and comfortable in my own skin. And I get that these are, I'm sharing with you to get comfortable in your own skin. You might be sitting there going, I know, but that's what I struggle with. I just never feel comfortable in my own skin. I just want to crawl out of my skin. And I really relate to that too, because that was how I was for most of my life. So if that is something that you struggle with, if being comfortable in your own skin is something that you struggle with, and if you want to really learn more in-depth tools of how to get comfortable in your body so that you can feel more confident in the moment and be more connected in your body, just put comfortable in the comment section, and I will reach out to you and we can set up a time to talk and to dive deeper, because that's definitely something that I can help you with, and I'd love to help you with that. So that's the number one thing. Yay. And the second thing here that is really, really important to get here, this is, so number one, the first thing is to live from your body and not from your mind. Number two is to take courageous action. Taking courageous action. It's funny because we think, okay, well, I have to like know how it all works out before I take the courageous action. But actually taking the courageous action is the first step. And the way that we gain the capacity to take the courageous action, because again, courageous action is based on the notion that I'm gonna do this. I feel like in taking the action, the abilities, the qualities that I need, I'm going to get in taking that leap. Like I'm going to gain those qualities in taking the leap, and that is indeed what happens. The same thing with your trust and reliance, that confidence in something. It's like you take that leap, you take that courageous action, and that actually provides you your very next step. You get held in something. I'm thinking about that Indiana Jones movie where he's looking at this huge gap that it's like there's nothing, like it's just there's nothing. He's like standing at the very, very edge of a ledge, and he's supposed to take a step, but there's nothing in front of him, and he has to just take this step into the nothingness, being willing to fall. And he finds as soon as he does and just lets go absolutely, his foot lands on this invisible bridge. And then the next step and the next step, and he realizes that there's this invisible bridge, but he had to be willing to take that courageous step to dive off completely, to go into it. And to do that, it's remarkable to me because we oftentimes think, oh, that person's so confident. And we think of like fear being the opposite of confidence. And that's not what I find. I find that courage is feeling that fear and taking the action anyway. And when you have the courage to feel the fear and to take the action anyway, that is what appears as confidence. That is confidence. And so one of the tools that I'd love to share with you that has been invaluable for me, and in fact, I was just sharing this with one of the ladies who I have the great pleasure to support on her journey of congruence and freedom and just shining her light, and was this line that I gave her. And when and this line that she used it as a personal mantra. And she recently just did her very first live event, and just absolutely, she said it was the best day of her life. It was amazing. It was life-changing. It was life-changing for the people who were there. They'd had an incredible time. She had the confidence to put herself out there because she took bold, courageous action. And this was the mantra that really supported her. The mantra was, don't do it for the outcome. Do it for who you will become. And so don't do it for the outcome. Don't do it for the immediate result. I need to make this much money, or I need this many people to show up, or I need to look perfect, or I need to do it perfectly, or I need for everybody to like me, or I need to, like be the best one in the group, or whatever the thing is, whatever that outcome is, whatever that attachment is that keeps us so stuck. because then our inner perfectionist comes out. And then when our inner perfectionist comes out, our inner procrastinator comes out, and we end up not doing it. We start to get scared. We start to take a few steps back. We go back into our little cave, back into our little safety zone, and we create a whole bunch of reasons why we can't take that bold, courageous action. And so to really support you around taking that courageous action, because here's the other thing too, is that when you don't take the action, it creates more anxiety. In a few moments, I'm going to share with you a massive action that I just took yesterday, a huge, courageous, bold action I took yesterday. And throughout the day, until I decided, okay, I just got to take this action, until I decided that, I couldn't shake that feeling of just like nervousness, that nerve, you know, those nerves that you got to like do a talk, or you need to make a big, bold decision, right? It's like you get those nerves. I just couldn't shake it all day long. And then when I like really, really took that courageous, decisive action and just went for it, it was like great big huge. It was super scary. I'll share with you the story in just a moment. And yet it was like I came into congruent relationship. See, because when you have a gut feeling that you need to do something, but then your mind starts telling you, you can't do that, you can't afford that, that's too much, you're gonna look stupid, people are gonna judge you, you've got nothing to say, whatever it is, no one's gonna show up, whatever it is, you know, that creates an internal incongruence. And when you have an incongruence happening inside of you, it sets up an environment of dis-ease and discomfort. We get all compartmentalized inside of ourselves. Our head starts spinning out into overwhelm and anxiety and obsession. We get that uncomfortable feeling inside of our bodies. Our heart starts pounding. And then all we want at that point is ease and comfort. And then we will reach for whatever feels like ease and comfort. Food, alcohol, attention, you know, shopping, social media, TV, relationships, texting, you know, like whatever. We will find something to distract ourselves from that underlying discomfort and dis-ease. But if we were able to align with that courageous action and go forward and take that courageous action, then we would find that that dis-ease goes away. So it's great, big, huge, super, super powerful. And I want to give you that tool of how to do that, which is don't do it for the outcome. Do it for who you will become. Who you will become means, who do I get to be on the other side of this bold step? Who do I get to be? For me, in this big action that I took yesterday, I got inspired because I was like, oh my gosh, the person that I get to become on the other side of this is the person who's standing on stage showing other women how I walked through something that was so scary to me, something where all my fears came up, and yet I walked through it. I took bold action, and I'm here on the other side, and look how amazing my life is as a result of that, and you can do that too. And I really got so inspired by how many more women I can help on the other side of me being willing to take that bold action. And so that's what I mean by do it for who you will become. Do it for you knowing that you're here to help others, you knowing you're here to light up, you knowing that you're here to live in your joy and your ease, you knowing these things and then not feeling like you're doing that, feeling like you're holding back. That feels like a prison. That feels like a total prison. And that's where the discomfort of not living in the place that we know we're being called to live, that's also what sends us to addiction and distraction and discomfort and dis-ease and anxiety and overwhelm and all these things. And so this is why I'm so passionate to support you and just being able to align with that stuff for yourself, because this is great, big, huge, and the extent to which you can implement this is going to be a real game changer in your world. And I want to hear all about it. So that brings me to the last point here that I want to share with you, the third thing that you need to know about having confidence, the confidence to put yourself out there. And again, for those of you who are just tuning in, you know, we're talking about the two aspects of confidence. We're talking about the kind of confidence which is the appreciation of your own abilities and qualities, and that level of confidence and trust and reliance upon the universe, upon God, just upon something else. That you have confidence in both of those things. That's what true confidence is. It's not just, this is so important to get, because we oftentimes just think that confidence is just about my own self-assuredness, my own self-confidence, my self-assuredness. And if you're just living there, it's gonna feel really, really challenging for you, because we are not islands unto our own. It's not just about me and my own mind and my own brain power and what I can figure out in my own head, and you know, not ever getting support, you know, just only relying on myself. That's like, that's separatist, you know, and it's isolating, and it has us feeling alone, and it has us feeling unsupported and like nobody gets us, and it's really self-inflicted. And unfortunately, you know, that's how I lived for many years, not realizing that that's how I lived. I thought that because I was so concerned with what everybody thought about me, I thought that I like was all about other people, but I really wasn't. I was really about, what do you think about me? You know, do you think I'm doing it okay? Can you validate me? Can you give me attention? You know, that stuff was really, really important. So, and I'm just getting a message here that you're back on, but you have no sound. It's just black with no sound. So I'm hoping that this recording is coming through for a lot of you out there. Hey, Chelsea, good to see you. Yeah, be a shame if you're missing all of this. And so let's talk about that last point. So that last point is commitment, is making a commitment. So this is so important. So first we have being comfortable in your body. Second, we have being courageous with your actions. And third, we have taking that commitment, being committed. And here's the thing about commitment, is that to truly be confident, we need to actually make a commitment first. And so this is what I'm talking about, commitment first. I'm talking about committing before you see the results, right? Like if you decide that you want to get fit, you've got to commit to going to the gym before you start seeing the results, right? And it's like that in anywhere in your life. We need to first commit to the thing. We need to be all in without seeing the results. And this can mess with us a lot of times, because we oftentimes have this tendency to be like, oh, okay, well, when I know, when it's proven to me, then I'll have trust in it. Then I'll be able to rely on it. Then I'll be able to have confidence in that thing. Then I'll be able to have confidence in me when I can check off all these boxes, when I can do all these things perfectly, when I see these results that my linear mind is trying to quantify in order to equal sign me being able to give my confidence to that. But that's not how it works. It doesn't work that way. We actually need to have that level of commitment first. So I know I was sharing with you that I was going to tell you a story about a big, massive, bold decision that I made yesterday. Well, it was big in my world. It was super big in my world. So, here it was. So, you know, I have this beautiful place that I live in La Costa in North County, San Diego. It's really been wonderful, and it hasn't really been like my favorite place, because I don't have, like, I want like a yard and a patio, and I want to be able to sit in the sun and work, and I'm not complaining, and I've just known for a while that I really, really want an upgrade. But I've been holding back, because when I go out there and I look at places, like the places that I want are not in my budget, and I just don't want to settle. So I've been in this place. I've been paying a month-to-month rent now for like almost a year, knowing that like once I find the right place, I'm gonna move out, but I just haven't found it yet. And so my dear friend, Sage Levine, those of you who know, she and I were both looking for a place, and she messaged me about this place, and she's like, Deb, you've got to go check out this place. It's amazing. We could live next to each other. It'd be so awesome. And so I go to check out this place, and this place is awesome. And it's like $500 more than what I'm paying right now. It's like a big leap for me. And I was just going, oh my gosh, like already where I'm living right now was already a $500 leap from where I was before. And this next thing, I'm like, oh my gosh, this like puts it over the edge for me. And I start like spinning out, my mind is spinning out. And I'm just thinking, gosh, I don't even know. I can't do this. And I'm back and forth. But my gut was like, this place is amazing. It's got a yard. It's got the sun. It's got this great 2-bedroom. It's closer to the ocean. I could be close to one of my dear friends. It's like got all these incredible things. And so all day yesterday, I was like sitting on the fence and I wasn't making the decision. And I was going into all of the stuff that our mind does, right? And a couple weeks back, I wrote a blog about how to trust when you're making a decision, how to trust if it's your fear voice talking or if it's your truth voice talking. And it was really cool article. It was very cool, like when this channeled through, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so true. Let me see if I can remember a couple of them, and then if you want the whole list, just put in the comment section, put fear/truth, and I will I'll send you the link for the blog. But it's like the fear voice gets really logical, really practical. It's full of reasons and rationalizations, and that's like where my mind was yesterday. I was like, well, there's this and there's this, and I'm like rationalizing the crap out of like why, and your truth voice is irrational. Sometimes even sounds insane, right? It's just like, bleh, like here's this opportunity that's like yummy and it's expansive and it's fun and it's calling you forward, right? So that's another sign that it's your truth talking, is that it's expansive. It's calling you forward into a bigger version of yourself, whereas fear will keep you where you are or will even have you contracting further. So fear is going to say, no, it's all really good right here, and come up with a million reasons why it's really good right here. And the truth voice is always encouraging you towards expansion, because life is about growing. Life is about expansion. It's not about staying static. As soon as we're staying static, we're actually atrophying, right? We're getting stuck. And so there were just these beautiful distinctions. And so I'm watching myself in this, but I was so in it. I was so still in the fear voice that it still seemed like the logical thing. Like I wasn't in the, oh, I'm in my logical fear brain right now. Like I was just in the, oh, this is really logical. And I'll tell you what the shift was for me. It was what I shared earlier. It was all of a sudden I was like, wait a second. I'm on this planet to help women get free from all of their addictions and obsessions and self-sabotaging patterns, and to fully light up so they can go on and light up others. And I can only take women as far as I'm willing to personally go. And so if there is a new place that the universe has just presented to me, a new way that I can launch into my next level of trust and reliance upon the universe, of leaning in, of trusting that as I take that step, like Indiana Jones, like the invisible bridge will appear, that I will be held by that. If I can do that, if I can feel that puke factor and take the action anyway, then I can stand on a stage and I can show women how they can do the same. I can stand there and I can take a stand for women and I can show them how they can do the same. And I can be that stand for them and not let them cower into the safety of their story. And I'm like, I can't do that if I'm going to stay in the safety of my own story. And so it's because of you, listening to this right now, that I said yes. And I called up the landlord and I finished my application. And that was the other like scary thing for me too, that was bringing up a lot of my vulnerability, a lot of my stuff, because I was like, I don't even know if I could qualify, because this rent, what this is asking for, is a lot of money, and maybe I can't even qualify. I don't know. And it felt really vulnerable, you know? And I had all that inadequacy stuff coming up, and I'm like, I've got to move through this. I've got to move through this because I'm committed. I'm committed to the people who I'm here to serve. I'm committed to who I get to be on the other side of this. I'm committed to taking this bold action. And so I called the guy up, went over there, turned in my application. He ran it right in the moment. He approved me, and I am in less than 30 days, actually on the 1st of June, moving into a new place in Leucadia. Super, super excited. And it's amazing. And so that last piece of commitment, this is something that one of my mentors shared with me that I just find is so valuable and so pertinent to this conversation, is that commitment comes before capability. And so if you are somebody who feels like, okay, well, I don't have the confidence right now to do something, I just need to go get another degree. I just need to get another training. I just need to go and do this other thing. You know, like I need to become more capable so that I can feel more confident. If you go the capability before the confidence thing, like it's not always going to work. Sometimes there's a combination of you having the trust and also having like a certain skill set. You know, like I'm not going to go there and say, oh, I got the confidence that I can fix your car. It's like, I don't have the confidence I can fix your car. I don't want to fix your car, but I don't have that skill set. I'm not going to go out there and say that. But I just encourage you to really call into question the part of you that feels like, oh, well, once I can feel fully, perfectly capable, and I emphasize the word perfectly, once I can feel perfectly capable, then I will go out and I will feel confident. I'll be able to commit to the things that I want to do. I'm going to really invite you to take a different track and to first commit. Commit to yourself. Commit to what you're here to do, who you're here to be, without attaching to the outcome. Just committing to it, and committing before you see the results. Just really, really let yourself have that. Maybe a commitment for you is to post vulnerably on Facebook, or to do a Facebook Live, or your commitment is to pick up the phone and to make a phone call that you've been avoiding. But commit to that fully and let yourself take that bold, courageous action by not attaching to the outcome, but rather for who you get to become on the other side of it. And as you step into that courageously, one way that you can allow yourself to get out of the overwhelm of the moment is to come down into your body, come into all of your 75 trillion cells, fully inhabit your beingness. Get present in your beingness. Connect into your heart. Take a breath. And realize that you are so infinitely supported right now. Every single cell in your body is working double time to support you. You are being supported at the greatest levels and the greatest depths. And the last thing I will leave you with here is, if you are really wanting to have the confidence to put yourself out there and all this fear is coming up, I want to just leave you with this consideration, because this is a consideration that I've asked myself many, many times, and it really helps me, is if I were perfectly provided for, if I had everything that I needed, if I was taken care of, and I couldn't fail, what would I do? So I hope that that inspires you. And if it does, please share what you would do, what that would inspire you to do if you were perfectly provided for, if you were totally taken care of, if you had everything that you need and you knew you could not fail. What would you do? So thank you so much for taking this time out. I hope that these tools are valuable for you. I hope it gave you some more courage and commitment to be able to take that confident action out there in the world and go and help more people and fully light up and be all of you. I loved connecting with you. I will connect more with you next time. Bye for now. Mwah.